Hi, welcome to my live stream on how to set up OBS for live streaming on YouTube. So I'm going to take you through this step by step in terms of what you need to do when you're setting up OBS. So as you can see here, OBS is set up in a studio mode. So what you've got on the left hand side is what you've got in your studio in effect, and on the right hand side is the program scene. So you can see here you've got a preview scene, which is everything that is about to go live that isn't actually live at the moment. And when you press the transition, what that does is it actually takes whatever you've got on the scene into the live program, which you'll stream on YouTube. And you can do that by pressing the transition button here. So when we look at OBS, you've got things called scenes and you've got sources. So on a scene, for instance, you will have several different sources. So you can name each scene by literally right-clicking on the button and then renaming. So you can say scene 1, for instance. So you'd put a 1 in there, or you'd go scene 2 camera view, or 1 camera view, or news items, etc. And you can build out your scene. And you build your scene by having multiple different sources. And you can add those sources by pressing the plus button here. And you can see there's a variety of different sources. So the ones that I want to cover today are video capture device, which is any sort of camera, be it like a GoPro, which is what I'm using at the moment, or you may have a DSLR camera, or you could even use a mobile phone as well. I will also cover input audio capture sources. You can also have display capture, which is a capture of your screen, which is what you see here now. I have a display capture, and you can do that by using a HDMI capture card, which I'll show you the one that I use a little bit later on. I'll also share with you the audio equipment that I think is best to use for setting up. It's quite simple, the one that I've got, and it's easy just to plug in and OBS will detect it straight away. So if you actually want to start a live stream, you need to go into your settings in OBS, which is here. And when you go there, you can go below the general, there's the stream options, and you need to use the stream key. So if you click the stream key button, it will then ask you for a stream key. So what you need to do is you need to go to your YouTube channel. So here's my YouTube channel here, and you need to click on your icon here, and you need to go to YouTube Studio, and that's just going to load up now. And on your YouTube Studio, you need to click the Create button on the top right hand side and click Go Live. And then when you do that, you'll see a stream key option. And if you scroll down, I'm actually live at the moment, but what you'll see is an option for a stream key. And that's here. So this is the actual stream key. So what you would need to do is you'd need to copy that, and then you'd need to go back into your OBS, and then you would paste it in by the stream key. And that's the same stream key, you know, obviously that I've got for my channel. So what you can then do is you can actually run a live stream with that. So you can apply that and you can start a live stream using that. So that's basically what I've got on the screen at the moment, and I've got this using a display capture, and I'll show you the card that I use now. So on the capture card, I use the Ugreen display capture card, which is about £17 on Amazon. And you can see here, this is a USB-C. You can get an adapter for a USB-C to a standard USB if you don't have USB-C on your laptop. And then it's a HDMI input. So you just need a standard HDMI cable, which you plug into one end of the HDMI capture. And you plug your USB-C into your laptop. And you plug the HDMI into your second laptop, which is the one I'm using now to show you this. And what that will actually do is enable you to stream using two laptops. If you go back into OBS, what you can do here is you can click the video capture device, and then you can just say laptop. And what you can do is you can then go OK. And what will happen is you will have an option if you've got this connected up, and it will basically say HDMI capture card in the options here, and you click it, and that will enable you to connect two laptops together so you can have two screens. So on the scenes, if you wanted a camera, let's connect up the camera and put that into scene 1. So you go add source, you click on the video capture, and then you just go say HP laptop, which is the laptop that I've got. You go in there, you click OK, and then that shows you the camera source. So you can go OK there, and then you can see actually in the window here, I've now got that camera. So you can adjust the size of it, and that's just me now in my office. And if you hold down the, I think it's the Alt button, you can actually crop the size of the screen. So you can actually adjust the size of the screen and the camera. Where you've got the funny shaded areas here, this means but you've got part of your camera scene is not showing on your display screen. This is in studio mode at the moment, so this means you're actually cutting off part of the area. So if I move this up, you can see, but now my head and shoulders is showing, whereas before only my head was showing. So you can actually crop this down in terms of what you actually want in your scene. So you literally, you just use the Alt button and then you can size the camera as you want. So if I wanted to make this the full screen like this, and I can move that up. I'm not too worried about the bit at the top not actually showing on the screen, because that's the size of my screen then. If I press transition, if I was running this live on YouTube now, that would actually come through live onto YouTube. So that's that there. In terms of the mic that I use the Rode Wireless Go 2. You can get an option where you get 2 transmitters. I've just got the one on at the moment, but you can see here you actually have 2 transmitters. So the transmitter is this one here, and you get a second one for about £255 at the moment on Amazon. This bottom one here is the receiver, and you can have 2 transmitters into one receiver. So if I had somebody with me now, they could have a mic on and I could, and they'd both go into your OBS, and they would obviously then record the audio on your live stream. So here's the actual transmitter that I've got here, so you can see that. And then, sorry, this is the receiver here, and then the transmitter goes into the receiver, And if you plug this into OBS, so it's just a standard USB-C connection. I'm on a Mac at the moment, so that takes the USB-C. You just plug that in, and then if you were to go back into OBS onto your sources, and if you were to add an input capture, it would then pick up your Rode microphone. So you'd call it Rode Wireless 2, and then you'd hit OK. So on here, if we just do a test, so you'd call it Rode Wireless 2. And then you'd scroll down and it would pick it up. Now on this one, I don't have it connected to my second laptop, but if it was, then it would pick that up and you'd be able to then select that and you would see that in your audio sources here. So on the left hand side, you've got your scenes, then you've got your sources, which is here. So there's the Rode Wireless Go was in my other laptop earlier, so that's where it's still showing there. So I have two laptops that I stream on. So in effect, what you can see now is one laptop, which is my main streaming laptop, and then a second laptop, which is what I use for my sources and sharing the screen, etc. And they're both linked together. And they're linked together using the sources, and it's basically just a HDMI capture card. So if you click add source on your main streaming laptop, you can then pick up your second laptop as well. So, and then if you go into settings, what you want to make sure is that your output resolution is set to the same as your screen. So you do 1080, 1920 for HD as a setting there. And that's on the video part of OBS. You set up, so your base canvas resolution is your basically your laptop screen resolution, and then your scaled output resolution is what you want to stream onto YouTube. So I've just set these both to HD, which is 1920 by 1080. And then the output onto YouTube is 1920 by 1080. On the audio, it's just best to leave it at 48 Hertz. And then for your video rate for HD, generally you would set this to 6000, and you can just toggle this up using the toggle, or just type in 6000. And then what I like to do on the audio is generally 192 is acceptable, but you can go up to 320, which will give you the best audio quality possible. But just bear in mind, the higher the bit rate for the video and the audio, it will take more CPU usage on your laptop. So just make sure your laptop can cope with it from a CPU point of view. So that's that bit there. And then if you click the transition, obviously you'd go to live. You can actually record onto your hard drive of your computer as well by clicking this button. And you can set that up in your settings. So in here, you can see in this section there's a recording path, and you can put that and make a folder, and literally you can browse that anywhere. So if I wanted that on my desktop, I can just put desktop, select the folder, and all my recordings would obviously be saved there. So I can apply and then click OK. So if I started recording now, everything that I'm doing would show on on my desktop, so it would record those video files down to the desktop. So I hope you found this video useful, and if there's any questions, please leave them in the comments, and I look forward to seeing you on the next